We are still on the subject of rethinking leadership. So far, we've talked about 3 stories which individuals like you and I, ordinary people who embraced their leadership quality, were able to start initiatives that defy the odds. These people were able to understand that leadership is not related to official position or power, but that each individual who is able to recognize and embrace their leadership quality can do anything. We've also talked about a South African first black president, Nelson Mandela, who was an ordinary person who wanted justice for his people and was able to, through conviction and vision, mobilize his leadership ability to become the first black president of South Africa, and as a result, able to help his people gain freedom. Today, we are going to talk about another Pan-African visionary named Kwame Nkrumah. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah, a political leader and a visionary, played a pivotal role in Ghana's independence movement and dedicated his life to the liberation and unification of Africa. His story exemplifies the power of rethinking leadership and challenges colonial structures. Kwame Nkrumah was born in the Gold Coast, now called Ghana, in the 1909. Nkrumah witnessed firsthand the oppression of colonial rule imposed by the British. He recognized that true freedom and progress could only be achieved through self-governance and unity among African nations. Nkrumah's leadership journey began during his studies abroad, where he developed a strong anti-colonial stance and a vision for a united Africa. Inspired by the likes of Marcus Garvey, he embraced a Pan-African ideology that emphasized African unity and self-determination. Returning to the Gold Coast in the 1940s, Nkrumah emerged as a charismatic and influential leader. He founded the Convention People's Party, TPP, a political organization that aimed to mobilize the masses and advocate for independence. Nkrumah's leadership style was marked by his ability to connect with people, inspire people with his vision, and mobilize them towards a common goal. In 1957, Ghana became the first Sub-Saharan African country to gain independence from colonial rule. Nkrumah became the country's first prime minister and later its president. He utilized his position to implement social and economic reforms, prioritizing education, healthcare, and infrastructure development. Nkrumah's leadership extended beyond Ghana's borders. He championed the cause of Pan-Africanism, advocating for the unity of African nations and the eradication of colonialism. He played a significant role in the formation of Organization of African Unity, that is OAU, now known as the AU, which aimed to promote solidarity and cooperation among African countries. Nkrumah believed that Africa's liberation and progress were interconnected. He supported independence movements across the continent, provided resources, guidance, and diplomatic support. Nkrumah's leadership and Pan-African vision inspired leaders and activists throughout Africa, fueling the momentum towards freedom and self-governance. However, Nkrumah's leadership journey faced challenges. His radical policies, including the push for one-party states and economical centralization, led to political opposition and ultimately a military coup d'etat in 1966. Despite his downfall, Nkrumah's legacy as a Pan-African visionary and advocate for African unity remains influential to this day. Nkrumah's story exemplifies rethinking leadership in the context of African struggle for independence and unity. Through his vision, charisma, and dedication, he challenged colonial structures, inspired the masses, and paved the way for African self-determination. Nkrumah's leadership served as a reminder that true leadership involves advocating for the collective interest of a nation or continent, envisioning a brighter future, and empowering people to reclaim their dignity and sovereignty. Kwame Nkrumah is one person who embraced his own leadership. He was able to come up with an initiative such as we have read today. He was able to lead Ghana to independence. He was not seeking for only Ghana's independence, he sought for independence of other African nations. His vision was to unite the whole African state to be the United States of Africa. Even though he could not succeed, but we all know what he did has ripple effects even today. What can you do in your own leadership potential or with your own leadership qualities for Africa, for yourself, for your country, for your community? Embrace your leadership quality today. Like Kwame Nkrumah did, you can do greater. Thank you.